The following program contains scenes of violence, mature subject matter, and substandard acting. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm Mike Arsenault, and welcome to Urban Self-Defense, the only show that discusses how you can take an active role in your own personal safety. We'll follow Jason Carter from Usafe Solutions through typical everyday situations to see how you can effectively deal with violence, aggression, and harassment. In this episode, we'll follow Jason through a day in the office.
Time to get to work. Kevin, for the last time, I need you to put cover sheets on the TPS reports.
Seriously? I need you to shut the hell up.
Here comes the boss. Good morning, Mr. Carter.
Morning, boss.
Hey, Kevin! Paul, can I see you a minute?
I need something to discuss with you. There's been a policy change at the corporate level. We have decided, or they have decided, to lower all our doorways to 6 feet, as you can see.
Makes no sense.
Well, and because of this, we've been advised by our insurance company that anybody taller than 6 feet is a liability problem. And I'm really sorry, but we're going to have to let you go.
What? Are you kidding me for that?
I'm sorry, it wasn't my decision.
I've been here for 10 years because of my height?
Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I need you to calm down. I need you to go clean your desk out.
Clean your desk out?
Security! Security! Help!
Clean your desk out?
Security! Quick! No. Get this guy out of here. Get him to his desk. Get this desk cleaned out.
Kevin, what was that about? Jason, what happened?
I was a lucky one, Mike. I gotta say, I'm really lucky that my previous employer took a lot of our managers through an active self-defense course, teaching us how to deal with, these types of situations, how to stay calm, relax, and stay control of the situation.
Those moves that you did, you've done those before? Like, you knew?
I was lucky. Our employer took us through some training, teaching us how to stay calm and cool and stay control, which is great because I don't like to fire people. But unfortunately, knowing what to do in a case of emergency like that, it sure removes a lot of job stress.
But I mean, like, Kev is a big guy. I mean, weren't you scared when he came at you like that?
Well, if you have a second, I'll explain to you what I did.
Okay.
And, well, when he came into the office, right, I tried to keep him calm, right, because that's the big thing. You don't like to fire people. But what I was concerned was when he started getting up way over top of me, that's a pretty scary situation.
Well, especially, I mean, your office isn't that big, right? And he's kind of blocking your exit, so you have to deal with it somehow.
Exactly. I need to take control of the situation, stop, and remove myself safely from it, which is what I did. And when he was over top the desk, when he was basically, I was trying to calm him until the point he was basically going to hit me. Obviously, I had to do something. So I grabbed his arm, and using my face as I stood, I pulled him across the desk, trying to lay him out, because if I can get this person laid out calmly, keep control, I'm much safer.
Well, how did you grab his wrist before he started swinging? Like, how do you know he wasn't going to start swinging? Like, what did you block him first, or?
Basically, what I did was I waited till it started to escalate. As soon as he swept my desk off, I knew it was going to turn bad.
You
real
can't
quick.
calm him down at that point.
No, at that
right?
point, it was time he needed to be removed. So I basically, two hands as quick as I could, I grabbed that base hand of his. As I stood up, I pulled him across the desk.
Well, I mean, he's bigger than you too, so how did you kind of neutralize the weight advantage?
Basically, as you stood up, I have a lot of momentum pulling myself back. So as I pulled that hand, if you notice, I used my other hand to control his head over, to keep control of that big man. Once he was sprawled out, I had him in pretty much control at that point. And once we got him over, I dragged his elbow, I don't know if you noticed, I took his arm and peeled it over the edge of his desk to keep a little pressure on the back of his elbow, to keep him down there and keep him under control.
Well, I noticed you didn't strike or anything. You just kind of pulled him and then kind of held him there. So is by having the elbow there, if he tries to keep squirming, keep moving, that's when you can do damage? Is that the idea?
Exactly, because I could use pushing on his head with one hand, pushing down on his arm with the other hand, creates like a bridge, puts a lot of pressure on the back of the arm. I didn't want to hurt him. You know, being fired is bad enough. I just needed him to calm down and get him safely out of here.
How did you grab his wrist so easily? Like, if he's putting pressure on the desk, how were you able to pull him across?
The nice thing is, Susie had all his weight on the desk. He's relying on that one hand more or less to partially hold him up. So as soon as I suck that hand out, naturally his weight falls forwards, and that way I could gain control over this fella.
And you had him twisted, like you didn't bring him over this
Nope.
way, he was on his back. So when you pulled, you twisted as well.
As I pulled, what twist got really rolled over. If you notice, I put my hand against his head and rolled his head the other way, which causes his body to open up. And that was my whole goal, was to try best I could to get him onto his back. Because if he was face down still, he could just stand up and struggle, which we don't want, right? We need to stop that situation and remove ourselves from it. And I just needed to get him under control.
So basically, because we are in a small space and he is bigger than you too, so you were able to kind of neutralize him, just kind of calm him down for a quick second, and then again, when security came in, he stopped fighting. He was okay, still upset, but he kind of.
I think at that point, he realized it was time to go.
Well, thanks for letting me know, Jason. This is great advice.
Not a problem. I can get my stuff cleaned up, and we'll talk in a minute.
All right, thanks.
Did you know 19% of workplace incidents involve a weapon? Active defensive training, like how to block and remove yourself from a violent situation, will help keep you safe. Hey, I'm really sorry you guys had to witness that. I think it's all over now. He's getting out of here now, so...
That was insane.
Again, I'm really sorry, and it should be okay now. I think he's making his way out now, so...
So I was thinking, now that I'm all packed, you and me can kind of go back to my place a little bit, you know? Gonna miss you a lot. I'm hoping we don't have to end this. Got some caution tape, we can do this.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
I'm really sorry about that, Tammy. You know, he's gone. Take the rest of the day off. Take the day off, relax, and you know, if you feel up to it, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Thanks.
Thanks again.
What is going on here today?
Yeah, Jason, how did she know how to do that?
Well, she was lucky actually. She actually came from the same company I did and did the same type of training, our active defensive training skills to, unfortunately, for horrible situations like that.
Okay, well, we need this type of training. Can you show me how she pulled that off?
I'll be more than happy to. You know, take us a couple of minutes. So
Okay.
I'll get you to slide on out. So
All
we'll
right.
kind of react to the situation. I need you to stand up. And obviously, it was a horrible situation. He came up, obviously put his hands on her shoulders, right? And first thing, obviously, did was, if you notice, he reached up with her far hand.
Well, as soon as I have someone grabbing me like that, wouldn't I immediately tense up? Like, how am I supposed to know to even think that, I should be using these self-defense techniques?
Obviously, she probably overheard what was happening, right? So she probably had a good idea that Kevin was on the way out. So she was already, almost prepared a little bit. But again, it's you have no idea what's happening, right? So if someone touches you, you want to look, right? And that's the biggest thing. And that training that we took taught us to stay calm and relaxed, right? Just keep control of that situation. Because if you get frazzled, it's tough to defend yourself and think straight.
Okay, so if Colin grabs my shoulders, all right, so he has me, I'm immobilized, and he has the upper hand on me right now.
He thinks he does. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to obviously look over your shoulder, see who it is. And as you do so, you're going to take your left hand, you're going to reach up and grab his hand. But what you're going to do is you're going to grab the meat of where his pinky is.
With the underside here?
Exactly. The meat of the pinky. So you're going to reach and grab, okay? From there, I want you to basically take and start rolling it, peeling his palm to the sky. As soon as you start getting it up, grab it with your other hand. And that's what she did. Why? He was a big fella, right? So from here, as you go to turn him over top of you, getting him off of you, you're going to basically start to stand up because now you're in a safer spot and you're able now to push them away.
So now when I have him there, so why am I doing the twist? Like, why don't I just kind of grab, if he grabs me here, why don't I just kind of try and just...
Because this is a horrible situation, because once they grab you, he could physically or reach right around your neck.
Okay.
So you need to get that person away from obviously your body, and the whole goal of this is to stop the situation and remove yourself safely from it.
Okay, but why don't I just lift it off? So why am I turning? Why
are you turning it? Because what happens is you grab his wrist. As you start turning his wrist up to the sky, does this feel awkward?
Yeah, I feel it a little bit.
Exactly. What you're doing now is you're going to grab two hands on his hand. So that way all the stress is on his wrist. So right now he's thinking about, my wrist, and not thinking about touching you anymore.
I see.
Right?
So that gets his mind off whatever attack he was going to do on me. So kind of pirouetting out of the way to try and get away from that pain.
Exactly. The human body will always try to escape pain, and that's a great thing. So we're going to use that to our advantage. We're basically, all these skills attack more or less the small joints and things like that. It overcomes the ability of a larger person very quickly. So we'll try it again. You put your hands on his shoulders. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to start reaching up and you're going to look over your shoulder, see who he is first, right?
Yep.
Make sure it's not a friendly coworker.
What if he was just giving me a massage? How do I know? It's just how hard he's grabbing me, I guess.
Basically, and in this case too, you're going to look, right? And you will tell. In this case, unfortunately, we kind of overheard the conversation.
And she knew that Kevin was
exactly. And I think he probably got a little friendly too on his way out the door, and why she did what she did, right? She had to stop the situation and remove herself from it. So again, you're going to reach up and grab the meat of that hand, turn the palm to the sky, grab it with two hands, stand yourself up, and push them away.
Now, why am I pushing him away? Why don't I want to continue a strike? Because he has his back to me, so I could kind of go after kidneys, knees.
In this situation, he's only touched you, right? You just need to stop it and remove yourself safely from it. And hopefully it doesn't progress. If it does, then you can move on to other options. But right now, you're in a very awkward position. You're sitting. So you need to get out of that seated position as fast and simple as possible, still keeping this person under control.
So I could put the chair between him and I as well. I could throw the chair out.
Exactly.
So that's what Tammy was doing too. So she just got away from Kevin, and then if he had a chance to turn around, she's gonna be at a disadvantage again. So she's getting him out of the way, and then she would extricate herself from the situation.
Exactly. Because once you push this person, you're not going to stay there. You're going to remove yourself from that situation.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think this type of training should maybe be covered by the office, and we should maybe have a course on this. That sounds...
I think that would be
I fully agree. Especially after a situation like this, I'm going to look into it right away.
Great.
Did you know there was over 235 sexual assaults in the city of London last year? Purchasing and carrying a personal alarm will help keep you safe.
Hey, Idris. I'm going to take off then, okay?
Not a problem. See you later. See you tomorrow. I'm not long either,
Right,
so
see you tomorrow.
see ya.
freaking car. Car!
Kevin, it's been a long day, bud.
Yeah, it has been a freaking long day.
You've had enough to drink, obviously. Whoa! Hey, calm down. It's time to go home. I just want to go home. Hey, bud.
Yeah, it has been a freaking long day.
Oh! Buddy, we had enough. Oh! Oh!
Jason, get in.
Oh, quick!
Jason, what is going through his mind? That's like 3 times today already.
I think the last incident was just plain alcohol. You know, I think he just had way too much to drink.
He was drinking since he
Probably,
left the office.
unfortunately, yes.
So what happened? I mean, I caught a little bit from my car there, but so what? He just came at you, just kind of stumbling. Like, what was he saying?
Well, he was coming at me, more or less telling me I ruined his life. His wife left him because of this, and you know, I was still trying to calm him down because you know he was drunk. He had, you know, it was probably a long, rough day for the man.
Yeah.
And you know, and he tried to touch me the first time, so I more or less controlled his arm and more or less pushed him to the side.
Well, that's a little bit different because before he didn't really. He was just kind of stepping into you. This time he was actually striking, like he was pushing you, actually striking you. So what did you do differently? Like, what did you need to think of it?
Well, first thing, I needed to get away. Obviously, I want to calm him down. Obviously, to hit this fella wouldn't have helped him because he's already enraged. So, you know, I had to get my way to my car, or thank goodness you were there.
Yeah.
And when he went to push me, I was trying to get my way around him. So I pushed him to the side, trying to make my space clear, but unfortunately, he just came right back for more.
So you used the momentum that he was bringing towards you to deflect him to the side.
And exactly. If you notice, when he pushed me, right, when he was pushing me, I actually pushed against the back of his arm, trying to cause his body to move away from me. And that way, again, hopefully I was able to get around him, but in that case, he came right back for more.
Well, that's another thing too. You can't really strike him because, I mean, he has been drinking. You hit him, he's probably not going to feel it. He's upset too. He's going to have the adrenaline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I do my best to control that situation and remove myself from it. So I did the first technique, more or less trying to get him to calm down, say, you know, don't touch me. But unfortunately, he didn't. Went to the next unfortunate point where he threw a punch.
So he comes back at you. That's when it's not just extricating yourself from the situation. You're going to have to kind of hit back to get rid of him.
I need, again, to stop. I need to get away. And unfortunately, for me to stand there and be hit is not going to help me get away. So I did everything I could, again, to keep control of the situation.
So where did you strike? So we blocked him the second time. It looks like, what was it, neck area?
Basically, what I did is I used the meat of my arm, basically the muscle, to strike the side of his neck. Okay? Basically, it is the brachial plexus nerve. That way, when you shock it, as you see it basically gives you almost like a standing 8 count.
So he's going to go numb a little bit?
He's going to go numb. He's going to be disoriented, lose kind of his balance. And from there, as soon as he lost his bit of his balance, I was able to sweep his leg out and put him to the ground.
And then that was just, you again, use the leverage that you, with what your knee just close to his leg?
Basically, exactly that. When I stepped beside him, I more or less took my leg and I lifted it and swept his leg away.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just you stuck your leg there and then flipped him
over.
No, you give him a kind of a scoop.
That way, I wouldn't have to manhandle the big fella. He's a big man. You know, after the strike, the brachial plexus, he goes kind of limber, loose, and I used that to help with the sweep.
I see.
To put him safely to the ground.
So when you hit the nerve, that makes him go numb and gives you the opportunity to kind of just sweep the leg. So
exactly.
If you didn't hit the nerve, you try to do that, he's probably not
He
moving.
probably would still went down, even though he's been drinking, right? He already did a little bit disoriented, and that's a good strike. Even if you hit it, it causes a major disruption to the blood to the head, and which causes you to get a little bit even more dizzy than he probably already was from drinking.
And I mean, he landed on the concrete pretty hard, maybe even hit his head. So once he's down there, you got in my car and situation was over.
And thank goodness you were there.
He's not getting up from that, though.
No, and it gave me lots of time to remove myself out of that situation and get to safety.
Jason, it's been a crazy day.
Yes, it has.
Why don't we go get a drink?
Sounds great.
All right,
let's
I'm
get a
buying.
drink. Perfect.
Jason, there's a lot more to office safety than I would have thought at the start of today.
Yeah, and there is. There's and the biggest thing about anywhere you are, especially at work, your workplace, you want to be safe. And it's very important that you go to work, you do the best we can. But if you're always worried about your own personal safety, that creates a lot of stress and actually decreases your functionality for your job.
So are there some tips that you can have to be more aware of office safety?
Definitely. Things like, for example, when I had to fire Mr. Ball, I tried to make sure that, I tried to keep him calm and have minimal objects on my desk. If I had an object there, maybe like a bowling trophy or a picture of the family, he could almost hit me with that. So I got taught long ago that remove those objects, and if you can help remove those objects, it helps keep you safer.
So anything that could be used as a weapon on your desk, kind of close to your computer, what have you, maybe put those in a drawer.
Exactly. What I was taught when we did our workshops was, take those objects. You don't have to take them out of your office. Just move them out of someone's range. So you don't have something that can be used as a weapon or projectile against you.
Now, with Tammy and Kevin, it was an issue of unwanted touching. He invaded her personal space. So what are some tips there that you can protect that space? Again,
in a situation like that, it was horrible. He came up from behind her. So it's pretty tough to foresee that happening. But she did the perfect thing, and that was physically stop that situation and remove herself from it. And I thought she did very well. She got control of it, and pushed him away. And lucky enough, security was on hand to take the rest of the job away. And again, it's that personal space. You want to be aware of what's going on. And I'm a firm believer, use your peripheral vision, know what's going around you in the office.
And that's a good point, especially if you have customers coming in too. If it's not just coworkers, if you have people coming in off the street, you work in retail, what have you,
exactly.
Then the danger possibility could skyrocket.
And exactly, and if you're looking at retail, not just those headphones, because obviously they don't usually wear them, but you want to watch out what kind of display signs you put up in your window and on your counter, because you do not want to block your vision, right? You want to be able to see every customer that comes in and goes. And another really good thing is when you do that setup of that office or that front reception area or lobby, make sure that there's other co-workers that can see where that receptionist is. So he is not left alone. That there is either two people working, or that there's co-workers close by to oversee what's happening.
Now let's take it into the parking lot. What are some tips for parking lot safety? Because what I noticed when you first left the door, you were checking around, seeing what was around you in the parking lot, especially if you leave the office at nighttime. Depending on what month it is, it could be dark out. There's no sun anymore.
And you're exactly right. We get in those months in winter where you come to work in the dark and leave in the dark. And unfortunately, that's exactly right. When you leave your place of employment, look around, check around. As soon as you step out, and I'm a firm believer is always make sure the outside lights are working well, right? Check things, some companies and, where we work, we have a gentleman that goes out, checks the lights and the doors as soon as at dusk. So you know that they're going to be locked, the lights all work. So when you do have staff leaving at night, there's lights, and it's very important. And when you go through that parking lot, again, keep your head up and look around. I would never have seen Kevin coming from across the road if I was too busy staring at the ground or staring at my cell phone, right? You have to look around.
Jason, it was quite a day. Learned a lot about office safety. I know I'm a lot more comfortable now with the tips that you've shown, and I guess there's only one thing left to do. Cheers.
Stay safe.